have with us Sanjay Gupta, CFO of Emami Agrotech. Sanjay, thanks for speaking to us. 15 days down the line since the GST launch, what are your first impressions about it? Is the worst over, or do you think that there is more to come in terms of trying to figure out whether all the situation as everything is under control right now?
So I would say the worst what we expected was whether things will be normal on 1st of July. I think that has gone off pretty well. I think I should not say the worst is over. It went off to a flying start. Okay, so that is, as far as I would say, very good. The worst, what we anticipated, never happened. I hope now the worst, the concern that I have is once the GST returns start getting populated and you are supposed to get credit, that point of time the mismatches, I'm sure there will be a lot of those issues, the result of which you will not be able to claim credit. I think that's an area that we need to watch out, and once we have those issues ironed out, it will, I think, then we can say that the worst is over.
Yeah, as far as your sector is concerned and also edible oils in which you all function, what do you think have been the key takeaways in terms of how GST is being implemented? Are there any concerns that you have which probably you would have passed on to the GST Council as well today?
So at a very broad level, I would say definitely not. I mean, our industry was having a 5% tax rate pre-GST, post-GST also it is 5%. So there is no grave concern on that front. And if I talk about registrations, my customers, they've been a bit slow, but business has not suffered, I would say. So on the whole, I would say not a big, I don't have any really concern at industry level that I need to point out to the GST Council and so on and on.
Right. But also as a big company, you are dealing with multiple vendors, multiple operators you are dealing with. Probably all of them wouldn't have been doing their business completely above the line. Now, what are the lessons that you have taken? How has been the education that you have passed on to your vendors and people down the line that yes, being registered for GST is important?
Absolutely. So what I would say is on the vendor front, we have said very clearly we will not deal. I mean, we have made a policy that we will not deal with unregistered vendors. I'm not saying that we will never deal, but we have made it difficult to deal with unregistered vendors. It requires approval of, let's say, my or a person who will approve, and then only the unregistered vendor purchase can take place. So that's on the vendor front. On the customer front, well, we can't force them. We have been telling them of the benefits. We have held sessions on how the GST is beneficial for them. I mean, if they really don't do the GST registration and so on, how it can impact their businesses. And we got a very positive response. They said your company is one of the, we work for, let's say, all the 3 top companies in edible oil, and we have only seen that Emami has taken the lead to educate us, to tell us what has to be done. So I think pretty much, I think the people are more willing and open this time to a change such large as this. I think it is upon each one of us, I mean, especially the organized sector like us, who has a role to play to ensure the success of the transition and a smoother transition to the new regime.
Also, from a tax point of view, you seem to be suggesting that it is neutral for your sector. Yes. So there is no pass-through benefit to the customers that will be one can see in.
No, definitely there will be. I would say typically we expect 1 to 2% is the price reduction that can take place. Right. We have already taken action and we have reduced the MRP of quite a few of our products.
Also, the anti-profiteering clause, during the session also there were a lot of concerns that the industry had over that. 2-year period has been kept by the GST Council. What are the concerns that you have? Do you think that these measures are too harsh?
We'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, if this is just like a Damocles sword which tames the industry and makes them voluntarily pass on the benefit, I think that's the objective which will be served. But if it gets, let's say, invoked, these provisions, it can lead to a very messy affair. Right. So I hope that it is upon the industry to ensure that the sword does not fall on you. I mean, be a disciplined or let's say law-abiding person, and if you do your bit, I think the government will keep itself away. That's my thing. If the government does intervene, it is going to be a problem. I mean, it will be a messy affair. it's very difficult to distinguish between GST-led change and market-led change. So I think it is better that we don't come to a situation where the anti-profiteering has actually to be invoked. It should act as a tiger or somebody who's there and you need to keep them away, therefore you do your bit. I think that's what industry should also take it and respond accordingly.